Alone at Last, Alone It Seems. That's
Alone
the name
It
of your new
Seems.
album.
Yes, it is.
Why is that the name of your new album?
It's the idea behind it was to have two meanings in one sentence. So using almost the same words, only one difference. Alone at Last, Alone It Seems is just kind of like saying, finally I'm alone, but it appears that I am alone, and maybe that's not the best case scenario. Within the song, I think the chorus is, I roam a city so old and so new, a concrete newspaper where fake flowers grew. Alone at last, alone it seems, with fearful isolation in the view of my dreams. So you can kind of see where it's like, I'm happy to be where I am, but loneliness takes its toll at some. It's kind of talking about my freshman year of college. Living alone at 18 in this apartment that's, got a view of Denver, which is where I live, and no one else to share the moments with. So it was kind of just saying, like, this beautiful place I'm in with sort of no one to share the moments with, and so that's where that song that was the genesis of the idea.
Okay, so what differentiates this project from the rest of your work you've put out so far?
Well, it's the first kind of sort of project where I try to do everything by myself with, without having to discuss and verbalize what I would want for each track, whereas the last couple projects I did, I had help, with like production, playing instruments. So the first album I put out, which in looking back now, I don't think the songs are that great, but
oh, come on.
I mean,
I like them. Does that count for anything?
That does count for anything, thank you. But I had a lot of help on that. I was just it was weird being, like I said to you earlier, I was a 16-year-old boss to these professional musicians, and I had really no place in doing that, but I'm glad that I did it, and it was a great experience. But moving forward through high school into college, we sort of adapt, and when you listen to the EP I put out, Doomed Poet, it was sort of this middle ground. I was playing all the instruments on it, but I had a lot of production help, and then this last project, I didn't have any help at all, and it was kind of taking the training wheels off and seeing what I could do alone at last.
Yeah. Had to add it in there at the end. So stylistically, what would you consider the genre of this album?
Every song's different. I would tell people that it's rock music just because of there's enough electric guitar and things
or
like that.
Or you could just say songwriter, singer-songwriter.
Yeah, sure, singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty much what it is. Every song's different. There's no genre to box it into, really. I mean, one of the songs, If You Left Me, sounds like there's a whole orchestra team on it, but it's really just me and a synth pad. Knowing how to play piano can really help play the drums and the not the bass, but like the cello and things like that.
Would you say that's one of your favorite pieces on the album?
If You Left Me, it's a really busy song, but I feel like maybe it's one of my favorites because it reminds me of the Beach Boys' Pet Sounds, one of my favorite albums.
Is that who you drew a lot of inspiration from for this album?
Beach Boys, Beatles, Simon and Garfunkel, Buffalo Springfield, CSNY. I think it's pretty evident in Running All My Life that Coulter Wall had a big part in that. Just the idea of sort of gothic country with a lot of slide guitar and really 808 bass. It was my first time using heavy bass in a song. Like if you played it in a car, it'd be really overwhelming.
Yeah, which I have, and it is. So what song is very personal to you? Is there one song especially that has a lot of value and significance to yourself?
That's a great question.
Thank you. What can I say?
I would say Alone at Last because just the lyrics currently mean a lot to me. But I feel like down the road I'll look back and love Way Over Those Mountains, because if I were to box in all my songs into one place, I think going back to when I first started writing music, I think Way Over Those Mountains would kind of be the face of all that. Like the classic songwriting, like playing a song on a guitar and writing it, singing it, trying to think of cool melodies and lyrics. Way Over Those Mountains, I think later on I'll still be really proud of.
Yeah, I remember the first time you played it for me, I almost fucking cried, so.
Thanks.
Probably shouldn't curse in this interview, but
Freaking cried.
Yeah, freaking cried.
It was a song I had in my back pocket for a while. Fix it in post.
Take me through the process of where you began with this whole thing.
Basically, it started out, the first song, I hate to bring it up over and over again, the first song was Alone at Last, because I just wanted to make music, and there was nothing to do over quarantine, and I learned enough ins and outs of Logic through those 2 singles I put out in February, which got me enough, personal self-esteem to just go out and start making my own music without any help production-wise.
Those songs are Tell September and
All the Time, yeah. Tell September did really well, got upwards to like 50,000 streams on Spotify, and so seeing that made me think, okay, I'm not crazy for doing this, I can probably pull this off. So I gave it a shot, and the first song that I did was Alone at Last. And it's kind of busy, there's like a crazy guitar solo in it. I was trying to I didn't know I was going to make an album. I was just going to make a song for fun. And I thought, well, if I put this song out by itself, then I wanted to incorporate everything that I could do as a musician. But then the second song I made was Angie, which is just a story about something that I saw happen from my window in Denver. Because when you live in the city, it never ceases to surprise you on what you'll see, crazy things. Angie was definitely just me and a different tuning, trying to become a cool writer. Almost, I wanted it to be like more if Edgar Allan Poe wrote a song, kind of creepy in a way.
Yeah.
So whenever I listen to it now, I get a little creeped out. I'm not gonna lie.
So this album has a lot of different things going on, and it's all you on the album. Does this make it just more meaningful to you than any of your other projects so far?
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of weird things on the album. Like there's the concept idea of, I'll Be Damned If I Volume 1, 2, and 3, beginning, middle, and end of the album. That was just something I recorded when I was a freshman in college, and I was bored, and the thing is, it was my first time living without parents and things to keep me from going out, and just the independence was kind of overwhelming. So what I did for a while was just I put this mic in one of the rooms in my apartment and just play it into it no matter what happened. So those volumes within the album is just an improvisational like acoustic thing I did. I had this thesis statement in my head, and I was going to go see if I could just throw something down, and it didn't make a lot of sense, and I still think it doesn't make a lot of sense, but I think it sounds cool within the context of the album.
So Alone at Last, Alone It Seems is available on all platforms. Anyone to watch?
You can watch it anywhere.
Listen.
Yeah.
Watch.
You can,
Yeah, you can watch it anywhere.
You can watch this
You can watch
music
all
anywhere.
these sounds anywhere. Okay, so now that it's out, what do we expect next from your music path or career going from here? Like, where do we go next?
So I'm in a band called Carbon Copy Hippies, and it's Sam Hodgson, Olivia Aguia, and myself. Olivia Aguia is a new addition to the group. Before it was just Sam and I writing songs and having a great time, just trying to harmonize and put things together. Really complex sort of ideas within music. And we made an EP, it came out in July of 2020. And so I'll be making some more music with those musicians pretty soon. Trying to just really get leveled up with, musicality and things like that.
Cool. Well, it was a damn pleasure.
It was.
My friend.
It was.
I'm so glad we were able to do this.
I'm so glad we were finally able to figure this out.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a fucking wrap.
Frickin' wrap.
I'm not gonna fuck off the camera.